Welcome to the new Overlords Podcast, where we talk about cool video game news and what we've been playing. And this week, it's all SWTOR, because there's some special SWTOR stuff going on. I'm Max, and with me is someone who always shoots first, my co-host, Sema. Hello there, Sema.
Hi, Max. How are you today? I'm fine.
Are you fine? Are you all fine here?
Yes.
Yes. Also with us, from the other side of the planet, living in the future, is a real-life Jedi, good friend of the show, good friend of ours, somebody I've hung out with in real life at places like the Cantina events, at places like Star Wars Celebration, someone who custom designed and then commissioned the construction of an exact replica of the Satele Shan lightsaber, double-bladed lightsaber, which is the coolest thing I have ever had the pleasure to put my hands on in terms of Star Wars memorabilia. It's Zen. Hello, Zen. Was that?
Hey, Zen.
Zen
Welcome, fellow healer.
And where are you right now, Zen? Hello.
I am in Australia.
And in the middle, like just in the middle of the outback, just right. If it's like this, he's right in the center. He's just all over there. So yeah. So this has got to be interesting. It's got to be fun for you.
Yeah. To tell you where I am, I'm 20 milliseconds away from our brand new server.
Oh,
that's right.
That's awesome.
Isn't there a keystroke to show? Oh, wait,
I have it on my little bar, so I can just mouse over. I have 216 milliseconds.
I will have to turn it on my bar. I do not have it on my bar yet.
So Zen, what is it for you normally when you're playing on the other server?
About 240, 250.
Okay.
Satele Shan. Sorry, Starforge is our server, yeah.
Yeah, mine is a little bit faster than that because, the rotation of the planet.
Right. It's going the opposite way to get to Australia.
Yeah.
We've got some fat pipes. Actually, it's probably faster for me than you, Sema. I'll check it in a minute because I am closer to Australia, so we'll see. Anyway, I am really happy we have Zen because we'll be able to talk about what it's like playing across continents, what it'll be like for people in the U.S. that want to play on this new server, because there's reasons to do that. We'll talk about the new player experience and all of that.
I'm really happy to have Zen too because of time zones. Our playtime does not overlap as much as I would like, so it's really fun to have you here, Zen.
Zen used to live in the United States here with us and then moved back, and it made us all very, very sad. But yeah. Before we do that, though, let us also there was a couple general game industry news items I did want to talk about, so let's hit that as well.
Good news, everyone.
One thing I wanted to mention, it's sad that SWTOR isn't on the list, but the Game Awards, Game of the Year, Game Awards, the Game Awards, which is its own thing, Jeff Keighley's deal, has announced their nominees for all of the Game of the Year and all of the other Game Award categories. So the Game of the Year is Baldur's Gate. It will be, regardless. Right. And then 5 others that were also nominated just so that the category didn't look empty are Alan Wake 2, which is very good, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil, Super Mario Bros., Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. I had expected Baldur's Gate, Legend of Zelda, and Spider-Man definitely up there. Super Mario Bros. It's supposed to be good, but I wouldn't necessarily put it in this category. Resident Evil 4 is a little bit of a surprise. Alan Wake 2 is also very good. I expected that. All of the forums and all of the discussions where I'm seeing what is going on around Game of the Year and what people are discussing about all of these Game of the Year games, almost 80% of all the discussions are about Starfield. Starfield's not on here. Can you believe Starfield's not on here? Oh, Starfield shouldn't be on here. Starfield's terrible. Starfield's not. It's all about Starfield. So I get it. You don't want to put Starfield in your Game of the Awards nomination because it's that controversial kind of choice. And it is very split in people that like it and people that don't like it. But when all of the discussion about Game of the Year and all of these games is about Starfield, it seems odd that it's not even on the list to be considered. But that's fine, because it is very split reviews on that game. I still really like it. It's my Game of the Year over any of these. by far. But yeah, I can definitely see it not being other people's Game of the Year. SWTOR on Australian servers, I think that should be on the list for something. I will call up Jeff Keighley, and ask him what his deal is. So you guys have any comments on Game of the Year? Did you disagree or agree with me on all of that?
I am not surprised by the Zelda choice at all, because I know people are really had a lot of fun with it and we're excited about it. But it does feel weird, along with Super Mario, to be just a single platform game.
Yes, that is a little bit weird.
Like, I don't consider PC a single platform, but maybe I should, because I feel like so many
technically
people...
Spider-Man is only on PlayStation right now.
Well,
But the
there you
Nintendo
go.
ones and Legend of Zelda too, though. Legend
Yeah,
of
that's what I'm
Zelda is only
saying.
on the Switch. Oh, did you say Super Mario Bros? Yeah, both of those.
Yeah.
Too many of the games being single platform does diminish them in my eyes. And so I've said this before. I
Especially
always
if
sort of
it's
like
not
take a
a
point off
platform that I
my
have
regard.
personally.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes it even more. And even in that, I will, like try somebody else's or give it a look or, believe other people when they say it's very, very good. But it does diminish it to some degree when gaming is so diversified in terms of where people are, where people play these days. But there's no mobile games up here either, and that's a huge part of gaming. No
Yeah.
Warcraft Rumble on this list, so I don't know if that's gonna be. But we'll talk about Warcraft Rumble
I
for
wonder
2
if they
seconds,
do
maybe at
they
the end of
even
the show.
do they even consider mobile games?
I don't know. Maybe they do.
Maybe they have their own category.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So that's a topic. Another topic that's relevant to my interests is the Steam Deck OLED edition is out. Now, you don't yet have a Steam Deck. I do have a Steam Deck. I am not going to get this upgrade because it is more of a side grade. It's not a Steam Deck 2. It's a mid-cycle refresh. It is a nice upgrade, though. I have thought about it. So the screen is better, the battery's better, the processor is slightly better, the chassis and the thumbsticks are supposed to be slightly better. I kind of want it. If I could get like value for value trade-in for my existing Steam Deck and get this one, I would. But that's a lot of hassle and a lot of work. And
that trick never works.
Right, and I play the Steam Deck, but I don't play it enough. It's not like my main gaming device where this would really matter to me. But this is getting really good reviews. Yeah.
If you're going to spend the money, you'd be better served to get a Switch.
Because as we said, because of all these really cool games that are coming out.
Because then you'd have a Steam Deck and a Switch instead of 2 Steam Decks.
I will get a Switch when there's 3 or more games in a 6-month period that I want to play. I will not get a Switch for a single game every 6 months or every year.
It's on.
Like I would play Tears of the Kingdom, and I would have played Breath of the Wild if I had a Switch. I probably won't play Mario
Crossing.
I would have played Animal Crossing, but that was 2 years ago. So it's like one a year.
Yeah.
So it's been one a year. And if it's only one a year, I'm not gonna. I don't really feel like getting it. Another product I won't get that's in the category of too close to the category of the Steam Deck, I think, is the PlayStation Portal. So not going to belabor this at all. PlayStation Portal, you have to have a PlayStation. Your PlayStation has to be on Wi-Fi and it has to be on. And then this device you hold in your hands, and you also have to be on Wi-Fi. It can work over the internet. You can be like in a coffee shop, but it's just a remote for your PlayStation. And in that, I think this is a ridiculous device. It's going to be super niche, for one. And for two, I think there's going to be a bunch of kids that want a Steam Deck and get one of these for Christmas and are going to end up having to return it because they either don't have a PlayStation, or that's not what they need it for or want it for. Their parents are keeping the PlayStation on all day, all night, every day when the kids are like out and about, in the park playing video games as the kids do these days. I don't know. So I think a PlayStation port is relatively ridiculous. It's good. I mean,
I'm a little bit disturbed about your judgment of parents in general. They're they're
Parents are
clueless
gonna-
about game consoles.
no, they could.
you're a
They could,
parent?
but yeah, but I'm not gonna like leave the stupid console on 24 hours a day just because my kid
No,
wants
but
to
you-
bring his PlayStation Portal.
No, but you wouldn't buy
school.
this thinking that it was a Switch.
Oh, well, not the parents as much as like the grandparents and aunts and uncles.
Oh,
They
I
sh-
see. It's an age thing.
This happens. This has happened. Has this never happened to you where you like ask for something for Christmas and you get a thing that kind of looks like that thing when you're a little kid?
Yes,
But it's
I've
like-
had it at every stage of life. This is true. But it
I think the way
wasn't-
it works now, Max, is the kids just send a list to the parents and uncles, and that's what they go and buy.
Yeah.
Maybe links.
they
Maybe
put their-
you
they put-
send a link. Kids send links. Don't like ask. Don't give them a list with things written on it because you might ask for an Atari.
Don't give your parents a chance to fail.
Get an Atari. Well, Seamaster, this is like childhood trauma that's coming up. I grew up with my parents did not have a lot of money, so also some of it was whatever I might ask for, we probably weren't going to get. And instead of the Atari, we would get like the Blatari.
Yes, right.
It cost like $9.99 at Kmart because that's all we could afford. Yeah, we weren't buying a bunch of video games for it. We ended up we got a VCR when I was young, and we had 3 bootleg copies of movies, and that's all. I grew up watching those 3 movies over and over and over again. And if you've heard me do quotes of movies before, you can probably guess at least what one of them is: Top Gun, Back to the Future, and Indiana Jones.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Indiana Jones. I was
Yeah,
close.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. So those 3 movies over and over and over again.
But the legacy of you watching those 3 movies over and over and over again is so rich. And now you can quote
Yes.
every movie you've ever seen.
Yes, on March
Verbatim.
March
And
3rd,
do every
1969, our United States Navy established a lead school for top 1% of its pilots. This school is teach lost art of air combat and ensure that half of men graduated top 5 pilots in the world. They succeeded. Today, the Navy calls it fire weapons school. Flyers call it Top Gun. I want me to do the sound effects too. I can do that. All right, last news item. Last news item. Ark AS Survival Ascended, because we talked about it a lot in the last few weeks. And when we talk about at the end of the show for a few minutes what we've been playing, I've been playing a little more Ark. This is supposed to come out. This was weird. It was supposed to come out on Xbox. PlayStation was still supposed to be end of the month, but Xbox was supposed to be out on Wednesday. To the effect of Xbox in their announcements and Xbox UK having like showcase coming up this Wednesday, the Ark Survival Ascended released on Xbox. And at the very last minute, like on Tuesday, they came out and said, certifications not going that great. You know, we've got a couple more tweaks we need to do. We can't bring it out on Xbox yet. It's pushed off yet again. Very disappointing for the console users of the Ark Survival community. I'm having a lot of fun with the game, though. We'll talk about it. So, Zen, have you played survival games much?
No, not really. I don't have the patience, I guess.
I would love a Star Wars survival game. Like you're dumped on Dagobah in the swamp.
When you're a healer, every game is a survival game.
Yeah,
Right?
kinda.
Zen?
Exactly,
Yeah.
yes.
Hey, Marcus.
Marcus in the house. That is it for the news. This podcast is brought to you by all of you out there. Tons of people out there today. This is super awesome. We appreciate everyone's support, your listens and views on audio, subscribing on YouTube. That really makes a difference to us, and we see that and we recognize it. So thanks a ton. Big thanks to the chat room here during the live recording. It's always a source of inspiration and amusement, as I see in there going on right now. You can get the links to all the ways to join our Discord, where we have a giveaway going on right now for Star Wars The Old Republic all weekend with a bunch of codes. You can get to our Discord at newoverlords.com/Discord and all of the other links at newoverlords.com. Get in there, react in the podcast SWTOR giveaways channel, and we'll get a bunch of the codes out over the weekend. This podcast is also brought to you by our guild, Alea Iacta Est, where Sema and Zen and I all play with our friends. It's a large, family-friendly gaming community where we have guilds in all of the major MMOs, but a lot in SWTOR on both the Republic and the Imperial side, on Starforge and Shea Vizsla now. So you can get to AIE at aie-guild.org, and we would love to have you. All right, Zen and Sema, we have an APAC server.
Bet you didn't see this coming!
Did Zen? Well, I mean, you kind of saw it coming because they did a test, but how much did you expect that we would have an APAC server this week?
I actually gave up hope of an Apex server a long time ago. I thought it was never going to happen. Ever since they closed down the ones about, I don't know, 8 years ago or something.
What about, I mean, they did the server test once they were messing around with the Amazon Web Services, moving things to web hosting. Did you try that? You were on there. You were probably testing it out when they did.
I was on there and tested it out, and I was surprised still, to be honest, that they went ahead. But maybe because it's in the cloud, they can scale it appropriate to the demand. So if not many people are there, they can scale it right down. Or if there's lots of people coming on board, scale it up. That's the way the cloud works.
Yeah, how does the cloud work? How do clouds work? Because I picture it just like
magnets.
This
How do they
big
work?
floofy thing in the sky. Yes, exactly. Magnets. But apparently they do have physical locations still, so
they have data centers that you can put you can move your workload to a specific regional data center. You can have distributed workloads where multiple servers might be operating in multiple data centers, and you could switch workload to those data centers. But for this kind of service, and that might be for like a web server where the context of a particular user instance can be anywhere. You know, it doesn't have to be on a single place. But here, we all need to be on the same server cluster because we can't be in multiple data centers to be playing together on a server. So this is really good that they put one in APAC for the people that are in that region, because you do have to be dedicated. That workload needs to be running in that data center, and then your ping time, your delay, your relay time to get to that data center is much shorter than if you're in Asia Pacific. So that's why they moved it there, because they have a bunch of people that are in that region of the world on the other side of the planet that now will have a server that is fast for them. And when you're doing things, well, you explain to us, Zen, what were the things that you would do on the American servers or the US servers or any other server where the ping time in particular would be a problem?
Yeah, so I like to do a lot of PvP. And one of the reasons I can actually still do PvP on this side of the world is because I know the maps quite well, I know the strategies quite well, and I anticipate what's going to happen ahead of time. But then sometimes I'll be caught out completely and not see something. Things will rubber band around, all that sort of thing. And of course, I play a Sage a lot, and the worst feeling is that I'm about to die, and I throw up my God bubble to save my life. And on my screen, I see the animation complete, and I'm protected, and then all of a sudden, I'll just die because my command didn't reach the server in time.
And that's
so it can be frustrating.
It's a fraction of a second. It's even less than half a second for you, right? But even that, even a half a second can be enough where you notice it. It's quite noticeable. But the fact that you could PvP at all, I think is interesting. PvP, GSF, those would be the places that you would see it the most. And then you raided, though. You did ops and stuff, though, too, didn't you?
Yeah. In ops, it's not too bad because it's more kind of
forgiving, a little more forgiving, I would think.
And a lot of the boss mechanics are predictable and so on. And you know the DPS are going to go and stand in the red circles right now. So
they're predictable also.
Start healing. But one thing that was hard was doing the Bullo fight in Ravages, where all those was it mass
Yeah.
bombardment or something,
Mhm.
and all the red circles appear, and sometimes I just can't see them at all
Right.
until it's too late.
Yeah, when there's a short delay between when you're standing in a circle and not standing in a circle, I would expect that would be another one of those points where any kind of lag or delay or long ping time could get you in trouble. There's also the trick, we've talked about this before, where the way the round trip of explaining to the server where your character is happens at the animation start and stop. So if you run out of a circle, the ping to catch up to say my character is out of the circle may not have happened yet. So a trick is as soon as you get out of a circle to jump.
Yeah.
And if you jump or stop, then the server gets told right at that instant that you're out
Or
of the
probably
circle.
change directions too. I mean, just
Yep.
anything that is different from just running in one direction.
Right.
Yeah,
Zen,
so you
come here and start the conversation. We'll go kill flesh raiders while we're chatting here.
I kind of hate killing flesh raiders.
my PC just had
Okay.
a little moment, so I'm just restarting.
We'll start. You can catch up to us because
Okay,
we got to go find Meneas before long. That's one of my favorite things. So, ping time is going to be better. I'm interested though, from my side, to experience it. And by level 10, you'll be able to get in and start doing PvP in the low range PvP, and I'll get to check it out for myself. See what that low ping time or that longer ping time is like.
Yeah.
Now you said how many milliseconds was your ping time, Sema?
It is 217 right now.
I'm gonna turn mine on. So this is one of the first things I did when I got in game was customize my UI. And I did this on two PCs because I have it running on my studio PC and on my upstairs PC. But the little utility bars are a great place to be doing this stuff now. Zoom in, zoom out. Where did you put it? Did you put it on the top bar?
I've gotten two dark spores already.
Really?
Yeah.
So the season is running.
You want to buy them from me?
Now you're talking. Now you're thinking new server. That's new server brain. We should talk about that. We should talk about the economy and how to make money on a new server. Where is Signal? What is it called? Is it Signal? Yeah, Signal. There we go.
What is what called?
There's ping time, server lag. 187 milliseconds. Wow, that's good.
Yeah,
I have good internet, but Chicago is a really good.
Yeah, it's a hub.
It's a hub. 185, 187. Yeah, this is good. So
it's all downhill from Chicago to Australia, so it's
because we're at the top of the planet. So all the bits.
Yeah, the electrons don't get they don't get tired because it's all downhill.
Yeah, they can just flow down those pipes easier because of gravity. So I created a server. In fact, I did a little testing on new servers in the past, even because I knew that this might be coming.
What do you mean you created a server?
I created a character. What did I say? Did I create a server?
Oh.
I created a server. No, I created a character. I want to know from each of you what the top three things or top three. I don't care. What are the top things you're missing in being an existing longtime player, playing on other servers with a very extensive legacy and all the achievements and all the unlocks, and then coming to a fresh server where there are no transfers. So that to be clear, and there will not be transfers in the near term. But when you're coming to a fresh server, what are you missing? What do you wish you had on this server? What was the first thing that was apparent?
I'm surprised, but the first thing is credits.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize how much I used them for. Like, I'm not wearing an outfit right now. I'm actually wearing this this armor because it's one of the ones that comes in the mail.
Yeah. Oh.
Because
okay.
I don't have the credits to do an outfit.
I did not. It was only 350 credits to set up your first outfit. And I ran around killing flesh raiders for like 15, 20 minutes. And so I sold all of the junk that I got, and I still only had like 200 credits. I asked someone in the
I
chat
have
room.
26 credits right now.
I I asked someone in the chat room to give me like 300 credits at the start of the show so I could put on this armor set, which is one of my favorite armor sets. Oh, I got a hilt. Let me add that hilt to my outfit too. Where did I put my hilt?
But I think actually I
I
do
put it
miss it, but I also think it's going to be fun to just start from fresh and not have all the. We'll have some things, right? Like we'll be able to access our, the crystals that we have in our collection when we get to level 10. And I have, companions that I could bring out right now if I weren't in a group. And so it's not completely
Right. That was
from
nice
scratch.
having all of the past rewards that we've ever gotten in the mail, like pre-order bonuses, contest rewards, unlock codes for Cantina events, the Cantina codes, all of that stuff in your mailbox, you do get. So I had 87 messages in my mailbox that I've collected. So any new character I create on any server gets all 87 of those. So that includes, like I've got Shay Vizsla following me around here. That includes a bunch of companions that at level 1, I could just grab out of my mail and get and use. Shay Vizsla, Reynos, who's the pirate? The pirate guy.
Paxton
Paxton
Raw.
Rail.
Paxton Raw. Treek, I could get Treek if I wanted. So that is nice.
And somebody just mentioned in general, like once you do get to level 10, or actually level 7, I think is the earliest, because you can go to the fleet and start, your legacy stuff, maybe. But even then, Rocket Boost is like 2 million credits.
Ah, man, that's going to be forever.
Yeah. And I do miss my jetpack because I use that on all my characters, but I will get that at level.
Yeah.
I will
So
get that soon.
Rocket Boost is an ability that you can use from level 1 in place of a mount. It only you use it like once every 60 seconds and it lasts 20 seconds or whatever. It gives you a little boost,
And
indoors
it works
or outdoors, which is really nice. I use that one constantly. Having that being missing was apparent to me. It's something I always put on my bar right away in place of where I usually put my mount on characters that don't have mounts.
And when I start new characters on Starforge or Satil Shan, I sometimes pay the credits for them to have a mount right away, but not all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm used to running around.
That having nothing unlocked in the legacy unlocks also. I haven't felt it too much, but you don't have any of the bonus XP. You don't have the ability for your companion to go quickly and sell stuff for you. Oh, you know what we probably don't have also is the reduced cooldown on the fleet pass, stuff like that. Where is...
I guess we'll find out level 10 when we get fleet pass.
Yeah.
That's
where
right,
are
because
your
I have
legacy abilities? Legacy. Where... I'm up at the top. Oh, legacy. What? I did hit Y. Oh, is it a different tab or something?
Oh yeah, and quick travel.
Is there a cooldown on quick travel? Cooldown 6 minutes. So we
Is
don't
that
have
all? 6 minutes?
It's only 6 minutes. That's actually not bad. I thought it was like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I did too. I thought it was 20 anyway.
Where is that character legacy page?
Well, I don't think you have your legacy yet.
Oh, I don't have a legacy. That's why.
Yeah.
That makes
No
sense. Because it should
legacy.
show up right here. If you hit Y, and all that shows up here is achievements right now. So you don't have legacy. So you don't have
Have to
legacy.
finish chapter 1.
Interesting. What did you say? Oh yeah, that's a good point for anybody that's wondering. When do you get your legacy? You have to complete class story, chapter 1 of your class story, and then you get a legacy. So it's not level. So if you're going out there and just doing PvP, and you level up to 80, you won't get it. You have to complete chapter 1.
Datacrons too.
Mm-hmm. Datacrons.
Of the
The
Datacrons.
I did see on the starter planet people putting little groups together to go get the Datacrons on at least the starting planet. I thought that
Wait,
was kind of
are
fun.
there Datacrons on Typhon?
Yeah, there are, right? 3?
Yes, I think. Yeah.
There's 3.
Behind the
I
waterfall.
don't remember them. That's weird.
Right, because you only had to do it once up. We used to do it all the
Well,
time.
Yeah, but apparently I haven't done the Typhon ones in long enough for it to be stuck still in my memory.
Oh, find the missing students. Let's go do that while we're talking. So when you create a character on the new server, you do have some options. You don't have to create a level 1 character. So that's what we've done. And this is where you're the most restricted. You got a level 1 character. But you could create either a level 70 character, and you've got the level 70 unlocks, which you could either buy from the cartel market, or if you were a subscriber, you were gifted one. You were granted at least one. I actually have 2 for whatever expansions I purchased or whatever. But you can also go to the cartel market and get a character boost. But there's 2 kinds. So one is what's called the Commander's Character Token, and that allows you from the character create screen to create a level 70 character. That level 70 character skips ahead. It skips the story. It brings you right to the start of the new content. That probably will get you your legacy right away, because I believe it skips your class story as well. Does it? I don't know for sure if it skips the class story. It definitely skips a bunch of the other story up to the start of Knights of the Fallen Empire, right? I believe
Yeah, I think there's a couple of different ones. Isn't there one that completes the story for you, and one that just gives you the levels?
Yes.
Mm.
So the one from the character screen, the Commander's Character Token, that costs 2,000 cartel coins. It gives you gear. You may have got one for free from the character create screen. You could just create that character at level 70. The other way to do it is there's another token you can buy on the cartel market or in-game if you have 1 billion credits and someone happens to be selling it. But that one is called the Master's Datacron. And that one gets you to level 80, does not skip your class story specifically. That one I know for sure does not. And it gives you a full set of Noble Decurion gear. That one costs 3,200 cartel coins, though, as opposed to 2,000 for the other one. Because it does not skip your class story, they do, though, give you a class ship. So, Zen, you should be very happy about that.
That's great.
For anybody that doesn't know, Zen tends to create characters, level them up in other ways that end up at level 80 with no class ship. Then he logs into a guild night and we say, all right, everybody take the summon. And Zen goes, oh, yeah, I can't. So, yeah. So you could do
Zen
either of
is the
those.
reason why when anyone says, what level do we have to be for this activity, we go, you can be any level as long as you have a ship.
Yes, we specify that every time. All right, I want to listen to Padawan Avitla here for a second. Let's listen to her. Zen can't, Sema can. All right.
How's he looking?
He should be resting in the Jedi Temple.
That's
We're
Maneas.
determined to press on. I can help him along.
I don't have subtitles
We'll
turned
last
on.
to Kolto if you have to. We'll fight again soon.
Yeah. What's up? What's up, bro?
Hey, good to see another Padawan alive out here. You're lucky
You
those
don't look
creatures
like a
haven't caught
Padawan,
you yet.
Max.
I look like a robot. You must be the lost Padawans.
Oh, yeah.
Spacebar.
I have to click it.
Searching for you. What happened out here?
Knew they'd sent rescuers.
We came seeking knowledge of the Jedi Code. The Flesh Raiders interrupted our trial.
The
Never
Flesh
fought
Raiders
like
are
that in
just
my life.
misunderstood.
We killed it, but Jaredin was badly
No,
injured.
they're beasts. They need to be put down. I'm surprised you even killed one, you losers.
I thought you didn't have combat training. The Masters wanted you out of harm's way.
We're not warriors. Besides, it is not the Jedi way to seek revenge.
That's your opinion, Maneas. It's not what we decided.
Shut up,
A
Maneas.
bunch of animals won't keep us from becoming Jedi.
Isn't she right? Jedi don't give up, do they?
She is wrong. Remember the Jedi Code. There is no passion. There is serenity.
That's enough, Maneus. If you want to help us, we
She
can
is
use
so
you.
mean to
How much do
Maneus.
the Flesh Raiders pay?
It's enough, Maneus. Shut your pie hole, Maneus. You're going home
You
now,
gotta-
you losers.
I
We gotta look
do.
up the voice actor one day and
I know. Get her on the show.
get it off the show.
She can do
I
another
would like
Shut
some
Up, Max.
pie.
You're walking a dangerous path. You and your friends need to get back to camp while you still can.
But we're so close to finishing the trial.
No, we are not. I see you have a signal beacon.
No, we're
Good
not.
for us. And as soon as we have gathered our things, we will signal for a ride back.
Yeah. Shut your pie hole, Maneus. There we go.
Maneus is the true Padawan here.
So Zen, are you going to continue our discussion on level 1, level 70, level 80? Are you going to do either of the level 70 or level 80 boosts?
I really don't know. Probably not. We'll see how it goes. I'm very curious as to what the population will be like in the future. Whether it's just going to be very quiet, or if it's actually going to be enough people here to do PvP and group activities and so on.
How much do you think?
Clean up this mess.
I'm gonna
This is
mute
too-
this now. How much do you think U.S. players may come here and make a home here because they want that new server experience and they want to
Well-
get away from the old servers?
Yeah, I think there is quite a few people, and it actually reminds me of you've mentioned WoW Classic before, and the feeling that people liked when they logged on for the first time again, with
Yeah.
nostalgia and so on. And so maybe this is a bit like that. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't allow character transfers for a little while, just let people enjoy.
Yeah, they're definitely not allowing them in the near term. So that was part of the announcement and explicit in Keith's post to say there will not be character transfers in the near term. And a big part of
That would
that, I
have-
think. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that would have a big effect on the economy if they did that.
Right. Huge.
Yeah.
That would be the biggest effect, I think, because billions of credits would suddenly come into the server, and
Yeah.
people that didn't transfer or didn't have billions of credits to bring, everything would be out of whack. So this gives them the ability to also, on a very clean server, see how well the economy manages itself. How many credits are flowing in and how many credits are flowing out. The credits flow in
Yeah.
through quest rewards, daily rewards, that kind of thing. The credits that flow out, the main things are taxes right now, repair costs, and travel costs. So they can adjust those up and down. Having a very clean server to watch that very closely, I think, is probably a great experiment on their end. So if you could transfer characters, though, you probably would, though, wouldn't you? Zen?
Yeah, I think so. Just to get some credits and spread my legacy. The thing
What
I really missed was not being able to make a Mary Allen at my character creation, so I've created a human instead.
Right.
And when I selected the same settings, like I always choose body type 1, head type 4, face type, whatever.
Yep.
My character looked all stupid, so
Because it
I
was
had
the
to
wrong
figure out how.
race.
Yeah, it changes with the race, so I had to figure out how to make it right.
Same for me. I always make my Sork characters, so all my sages are Sorks. I always make all my consulars Sorks, and I make all of my Sorks Ratataki. Ratataki, is that what they're Ratataki, whatever that race is. And yeah, I couldn't get it. What is the barrier to getting those races? It's a legacy unlock. It's a legacy cartel unlock, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you
it's a
probably
legacy.
can unlock it, right, with cartel coins?
Well, once you get a legacy, yeah.
Oh, once you get a legacy. Again,
I've got
there's
no
that,
legacy.
there's that whole thing. You gotta get the legacy.
I mean, that's actually an attractive, to me, to go through that again and build up your legacy points. Like,
That's right.
that's a long-term project, which I like.
So legacy points, social
Longish
points.
turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you create the legacy, you'll be only level 1. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I'm
So we
still
can't even
thinking, I
see
still like
our legacy yet.
the idea of that we can like go out and do datacrons and it will mean something
That too.
is kind of fun too. Yeah. Like
That was
I'm not great at the hard datacrons, but I've always enjoyed doing them, even though I had to like, fall off and run back, fall off and run back.
and getting a
I'm
group
thinking of
together to go do them.
chorus. Yes. Yes.
That was a great, just fun, low key
Group activity for
group
us.
activity.
Yeah.
We would do it relatively often on our guild fun nights because there would always be new people coming in or new people creating new characters, and it was always relevant to a lot of people to go get some more datacrons. There's the very difficult ones. There's some that you need multiple people. Very few, but there's a couple where you must have multiple people. But having the fleet datacron where you can set it up and then you can pull 20 people up to it instantly, that's pretty nice and a fun group activity. And then everybody's like working together to get it set up, and then everybody gets a bunch of characters through it potentially. That's going to be something that will happen again. We'll be able to see people doing the fleet datacron on this server.
And another thing that we'll get from, leveling our legacy is the passes that come from each origin story class thing.
Which passes?
Well, like right now I have force valor, the buffs.
Oh,
Class buff.
oh, that's
The
right.
class buff. Yeah.
That's right. You only have one of those so far.
Yeah.
1 out of the 4. So you'll have to level up for. Are you going to do that, Zen? Are you going to level up a whole suite of legacy characters?
if you bring your legacy over, then ultimately.
But you can't. You can create it. You're creating a new legacy.
Yeah, not yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you could transfer, you would be transferring. What they do when you do a transfer is they take the higher of the 2 legacies, and combine them with the higher 2 legacy taking precedence.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a merge. Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if I'm going to, level up all the different classes, but I'm definitely not going to do the datacrons again. That's not my kind of thing.
But those are permanent stat boosts. You can't pass that up. That's like stats, man.
My idea of hunting datacrons is somebody summons me and then I click on it and log out.
I wonder if
that's about as much as I want to do.
Okay, here's a question.
We definitely have to create a guild over here so that we can summon Zen to datacrons.
That's what I was thinking, and that's the question. I already have seen people. I saw people at 1:30 p.m., 30 minutes after the server opened, in general chat on Tython going, "Any guilds inviting?"
Yes.
Whatever. I mean, that's a thing, I guess. Even if you got invited to a guild, it's not like you get there's none of the guild bonuses are going to be active.
And new guilds on this server are going to have to save up again for the guild ship.
Right. The guild ship unlocks.
If they do it on both sides, yeah.
That's interesting. So,
well, don't you need money to make a big guild as well, like millions of credits?
I don't know how much. You do need money though. Yeah, you do need money. I missed another one of the. Did we get all the? Oh, I got all of the holocrons. Did you get all the holocrons, Zen? For people that are listening, we're also running around Tython here.
Zen is missing the quest for Southwest holograms.
Oh.
I mean, for holograms, the Southwest one. But I still need. What do I need? Or did I get it already? I guess I got all the little
Path
cages.
of the Jedi return to report to Master Yuan Pa.
Okay, I'm up to reporting to Master Yuan Pa as well.
So let's talk about tips that you would have for people to
return to Master Rel next.
Yuan Pa, I think, was for the Maneus. Which one was for? No, Relnex is for Maneus. The get the holocrons was for Yuan Par. Or get the datacrons or whatever. Holograms. Holocall. What is Sema? Sema's got get me into a
I'm
phone
turning
call.
in something.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. This is the Maneus one.
Oh, they're
Spacebar.
gonna
You
rescue
students willing to help. You really failed at your job. That's a good character model, Sema.
Thank you. I used random. I mean, I didn't use random, but it came up as
Upgrade.
the first one. I'm like, I'll take that.
I got an upgrade. Green, my first piece of green gear. I am so OP now. It's crazy. Okay, so
I've
we talked
got a
about
piece of green gear already.
Oh, I need the Southwest hologram also. I ran right by it.
you go get that, and then we'll go turn it into Yuan Par, because then we can continue on and go to the Jedi Temple. So we missed Rocket Boost. We missed the class buffs. We missed credits. Credits is a big thing. I would always give like 5 million credits to every new character that I created. And then in
Right.
Legacy, I would
And
unlock a bunch of stuff all
in
right
my
away in Legacy.
decision too, like whether or not I was going to take a companion to level 50 affection was always kind of, do I feel like it or not? And now it's going to be, nope.
Right. Paying 4 million credits plus the Dark Project.
2 dark projects or whatever it is. Yeah.
2, 3,
I'm like,
I think 3 Dark Projects and 4 million credits, and that's expensive these days. Once you get to 80, that stuff will really start to flow again, because you'll be able to start doing dailies and weeklies. You'll be able to do CZ198. You'll be able to start grinding. Oh, something I didn't think of. We have no materials. We have no gathering materials, no matter what level you are. Even if you
got
have
no gathering skills.
Well, we don't even have crew skills. But for the people that even do a boost or start a level 70 character, they've got no crafting materials at all. So that's going to be an interesting grind. You're going to see people out there gathering crafting materials off the ground on all the planets to get that, and then leveling up your professions.
I still get them off the ground.
You pick up things off the ground. You threw it on the ground. It's not worth my time. So, one other thing that some of us got, but not everybody, but I certainly missed, was the XP gear. So the armor set, the XP armor set that you could have collected as rewards for, man, I don't even remember what we got that for. It was for one of the events. Was that the
Light? It was light versus dark.
Light versus dark, and it was, you had to, like, each tier you moved up in completing all of the light versus dark objectives. You got another piece of the armor set up to about a 50% XP bonus. And I passed that armor set around to every new character that I create. Oh, if you could do a character transfer and transfer a set, but then it would be off of the server that you left it off of. I have 2 sets though, because some of us got 2 sets because there was a mistake at one point in one of the server merges where something broke, and just to make sure that anyone that had earned it still had the ability to use it, they mailed a complete set to a bunch of people that were eligible for it. So
I'm
you could
curious
end
to
up with
see
2
if I
sets.
actually do miss it though, because leveling is pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm already level 5, and I've done like 2 missions and killed a bunch of flesh raider animals.
I came to the Jedi Temple, by the way.
Yeah, me and Max went back to the starting area because we're new. We don't know how to do
Oh wait,
this.
why are you talking to this guy? Did you turn into a Yuan Par?
Not yet, but he was here, so I clicked on him.
No. Oh,
It's
is
new-
this where
new
we have
quest.
to? Oh, we have to go. We already have to go here. Oh, cool. Wasn't there something to do on the
that's
way
where
though?
Yuan Par is. No.
No. I think
Is that to the next? That's the next one.
this is a new quest that Sema has picked up. So
Yeah.
my advice to anybody starting out new is not to just pick up every quest along the way and start trying to do all the quests at the same time, because it get you
Yeah, that's
using.
really good advice. I mean,
So
it might be more efficient to like do all the quests all at once, but it's not as fun for me because you don't get the the s- the story of each quest as easily.
yeah,
So explain
And
then what you're saying. You would just do the story quests, which are a different color on the map now. Your main
that's right.
quests
They're
are gray.
all pink or purple. Picky
Right.
the color.
And the
So I'll just do
planetary
them.
stories are different, a different color. They're like the gold ones. Sema's not space barring. She's thinking real hard about her choices.
but okay. Yeah. So like instead of just going into like a town or village and just going to every NPC and getting their quest, just finish the quest you're working on.
I don't know if I would do that. I like
I have done it in other games and I do find it more
you definitely have the
like
point
more
on the story, especially in Star
yeah.
Wars, that to have the cohesive story about what your character is doing and why, sticking with
And you
just your
end up
class story.
traveling more, but it's arguably in Star Wars traveling is so fast.
The thing I
Yeah,
would I because you're right there doing some of those extra side missions on the side does seem to work out really well from doing things that are in the same area, for one. For two, I think if I just did the class story, because of how much XP we get, I think just doing your class story would probably be enough to level you up all the way to the expansions and end game. And I would never have any reason to come back, and I wouldn't. So if I wanted to do any of them on Tython, I would do them while I was on Tython, because I'm not gonna come back. So I
So
would probably do them
yeah,
on the
I
way.
mean, I don't actually mean just on Tython, but um, yeah, I've been doing it more in other games too, where you just kind of, especially if you're in a situation where you don't really get any of them and you're still trying to learn, you're just like if you do a quest and talk to the NPC, turn it in, do their next quest, and come back to them and all that stuff before you run around to every tent or every inn and pick up them all
Okay.
until your map fills up with quest, you
So
know.
so
maybe a few concurrent missions is enough.
so focus on the
But
present. Focus
Yes,
on where you are, what you are doing.
yeah,
doing.
but you're right. Once I go on to the next planet, I'm probably not going to come back to Tython unless I really want to do like the heroics or something for a reason.
That makes
Well,
sense.
I've been coming back to some of the planets as part of the seasons objectives. Sometimes there's
Mm-hmm.
a mission to go to Outer Rim worlds, and I look at an Outer Rim world which I might have not a lot of the achievements for, and go there and wander around and look for quests or look for things to kill, just to do two things at the same time: get the achievement and
Right.
complete the.
That's achievement hunting is a good reason to go and do that. The other thing is, even after you're all done, is there are some class stories or some planet stories that are really fun and
Mm-hmm.
good
Yeah,
that
there are.
you probably again with the amount of leveling, just baseline leveling XP that we get these days, you will probably skip. Like is it Balmora? I like the Balmora planetary mission, and that's with Darth Lacris. Remember Darth Lacris? That's on the Sith side, the Balmora planetary. You meet Darth Lacris, and you can romance her even. Well, it's a little side romance, but you can romance her if you want. That's those kinds of things I do expect I would blow on by, but still might want to go back at some point and do. Or if I'm feeling I want to get ahead a little bit in XP, I might do some of those side ones. There's a lot of those side ones though that are pretty good, especially on a bunch of the early planets. Some of the later planets I don't care as much, but Korriban, there's a bunch on, no, not Korriban, Dromakas. There's a bunch of the side stuff on Dromakas. I like to do all of Dromakas when I'm doing an Imperial character. So I think it depends. I think if you haven't done them before, I would encourage everyone to enjoy it and do it, especially through all of the original planets and through your class story chapters 1, 2, and 3. If you have not done it before, that is well understood as one of the highlights of the game. One of the great reasons to play Star Wars: The Old Republic is to go out there and play through those class stories, play all of everything that is presented to you, especially as that original class content. Then, and Lucy mentions, then you get to the expansions. And I would at least play through all of the expansions completely once. Oh, the Revenites on Dromakas. Yeah, you got to do the Revenites, even though that's not part of the class story. I always do the Revenites, even though you don't need to, because it's a great side story. But then there's the expansions. I would also recommend doing expansions at least once, because I think they all have value and they're all good.
Yeah, definitely do them all once at some stage.
Yeah. I like the story on Balmora from the pub trooper.
Yes.
Like, it's really a hero story where you basically, and there's a
Right.
big battle at the end, and
There's the droid factories, and you're rooting out. It's definitely a military campaign, which is what makes those classes, that especially the Vanguard as a class story, really shine and really feel like it matters in Star Wars lore and story. So I agree. I would. There's some of those, and it's hard to tell which are which. So you could look it up if you're not going to do them all, but do them all.
It's early on, and it's also like a non-Force user, because before I started playing Star Wars: The Old Republic, I thought of Star Wars as the Force and using the Force, and the Force be with you. So I was really kind of not knowing how it would be playing non-Force user classes, and it's great, really.
Yes.
Yeah, they're all great stories.
I really think it's one of the things that they did so well at launch was making the smuggler, all of the non-Force users, making them very relevant and making them feel like they are a big enough deal to match up with being a Jedi. And if you went down that path, you didn't feel like second rate.
Yeah.
I think back to Star Wars Galaxies as an example, and it was really, as the game went on, Jedi was the pinnacle, and being a Jedi was, I mean, there are some things you could do around bounty hunting, but Jedi was really
I think that's one thing I
pinnacle.
really love about the Blur cinematic that's called, I think it's one called Hope, where it takes place on Alderaan, and that's where I fell in love with Jace Malcolm.
Mm-hmm. Goes, head to head, face to face with Malgus as a trooper, and he's carrying around his big assault cannon, and that was pretty good. Okay, so we talked about a bunch of things we're missing. Let's make sure we don't avoid talking about any other tips we would have for people starting new on the server. We said different ways to go about picking up missions, picking up quests, making sure that you're doing some of those side things if you're going to do it. What else do you guys have? I can think of a couple others.
I would say that especially on Tyson, it's worth doing the heroics. You don't have to do it, but I feel like it's going to be worth it.
Yes. And what, in what ways would you say? Because that's immediately what came to mind for me too.
I'm thinking credits, but also, of course, experience.
Right.
And I mean, conquest, which is going to be meaningful for credits in the long run.
Yep. Credits, experience is great. Credits is good. Definitely both of those, and they are repeatable. Remember, you can teleport directly to them and do them every day. They're dailies. Those aren't they dailies? Yeah.
I don't know about Tython.
And the other starter planets you can only do once per week.
Yeah,
there
they're
you go.
weeklies. That's right.
Yeah.
So once you clear them out, you can also use them because you do nowadays get the travel to objective. You can use them as a quick travel option as well. As you level up a character, you'll get more and more of them off of like the fleet terminal where you can go and get the dailies. If you don't complete it, you can use it multiple times, but there's a cooldown. There's like a half hour, an hour cooldown on that travel. But that's a way to grab those and be able to travel to different locations relatively quickly. If you've got a companion, like I got Shea Vizsla out of the mail, if you've got those companions in the mail, I would go and get those at level 1. And
Yeah.
Sema, you mentioned in the pre-show, you bet you could probably take just you naked with no gear and your companion and go clear out the heroic area on Tython at level 1.
Yeah, pretty sure.
And because they're stronger mobs, even if you don't have the heroic mission that you would get once a week, it's still a great place to go and get a bunch of XP and credits at the highest. Go to the highest level, the one that you can. The amount of credits and rewards that drop are scale up as the level of the mobs and the level of the planet increases. So if you're only killing level 1 flesh raiders, you're going to get 1 credit as a reward. If you're killing heroic, champion mobs on Ilum, you're going to get many more credits, and the junk that drops is going to be worth a lot more. So definitely do that. Definitely get the things out of your mailbox. In my mailbox also, you should look for this. I do have at least 1, if not 2, XP boosts per character. So I think it was pre-order for Rise of the Heart Cartel. I think might have been one of the cases where you got the XP boost token. I always get those and put those in my inventory and make sure you use them. And Zen, you're the master of this. Make sure you use your abilities. Although we won't have heroic moment either. Yeah. Will we?
No.
So that's a legacy ability. So a lot of those kinds of things, you want to make sure that you're using your XP boost as a bonus, getting your characters out of the mail. You'll get a bunch of mounts and pets potentially that you've got in the mail as well. So get all that stuff out. Color crystals out of your collections. So there's a bunch of stuff in the collection. Some of it's useful. Some of it's just, most of it's just cosmetic. But color crystals you can't use until level 10 out of your collections. But those, you definitely want to make sure that if you've got any in your collections, grab a couple of those. I always, and you can make unlimited copies, remember. So here's my color crystals. So what is it? Is it level 10? War Hero crystals. Those were back when there was PvP stats. I wonder what stats those give these days. Let's see. What would I need a gold one for this guy. I'm gonna have to legacy unlock some of these. Ooh, Glaring Abyss Eviscerating Crystal. Advanced Glaring Abyss Eviscerating Crystal. That's cool looking. Well, what does it say? Level 10. Requires level 10. Cosmetic armor. You can create an outfit. Outfits, the more outfits you create, they cost more. So you might not, as I said, I had to pay 350 for my 350 credits that I didn't have for my first outfit. What does the second outfit cost? The second outfit is 20,000 credits. So I'm not getting a second outfit for a while. But a bunch of mounts. Once you unlock speeder, your ability to ride speeders at all, you probably have a bunch of mounts in your inventory, in your collections as well. For people that have been around for a while, pets can follow you around. Anything else that you guys can think of that you want to remind new players to do?
So my top tip for new players is definitely to read the codex entries whenever they pop up.
I'm standing right in front of one, Zen, and it made me
Every
think of
single
that.
time.
Jedi Council lore
Every single
object.
time.
So let's see here. I'm going to click on this lore object. Now, clicking on all the lore objects gets you XP, though, too. No, does it?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, 90 experience. So, but it did not pop the thing up. that said, hey, read this codex entry. Did it?
But if that's like the lore object
Discovered
for
codex
the...
entry Jedi Council.
Oh,
But
okay,
it
never mind.
didn't pop it up. Where's the codex? Shift L. Zen probably has it memorized. Locations.
goodness,
Jedi
Max.
Temple. Since the destruction of the original temple during the sacking of Coruscant, the Jedi Temple on Tython has become the spiritual and home and sanctuary of the Jedi Order. Blah, da, blah, da, blah. If you have
I
not
always
read
thought
them
they should.
before, it's fun. But if you've read them or had them read to you in the past, maybe you don't need to do it every time. But yeah,
I reckon
click
they
on all
should
those lore
put the
objects.
I think they should put the codex entries up on the loading screen so that instead of just staring at a screenshot that you've looked at 100 times, they could pick a
Read-
random codex entry.
Read a codex
and
entry. That's a great idea.
read a codex entry. Yeah.
As you progress in levels, I believe at level 7, what level am I at? Level 6. I'm going to go whack on some more. I'm going to go stab a fool with my lightsaber. I believe at level 7, you can get to the fleet, even if you aren't to that point in the class story, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So by the end of Tython, your class story will send you to the fleet. You might want to, ahead of time, and I go back and forth on this because it's pretty quick just to finish the class story. But if you get to the fleet, you can go and pick up all your crew skills. And so there's a mission to go talk to the crew skills trainer for one. Definitely pick that up on the fleet and then go talk to the crew skills trainer because you get XP for that. And then you get codex entry for talking to every single a codex entry and XP for talking to every single crew skill trainer, because each of the gathering professions, each of the crafting professions, and each of the investigation professions, they all have a codex entry associated with them. Do all of
Don't
that.
forget to read it.
Don't forget to read it. If Zen insists. So don't forget to go to all of those. I usually, on a brand new character, pick up 3 gathering professions. You might eventually want a crafting profession. And you'll, on a new server, you're definitely going to need the matching, what do they even call it? Like the investigation, diplomacy, investigation, treasure hunting, and what's the
Slicing. Yeah, so I
slicing?
think that those crew skills are called mission skills, and then the other ones are called
Right. Okay.
gathering skills or crafting skills.
Yeah, crafting, mission, gathering. That makes sense. You're eventually going to need, if you want to do crafting, you're going to need mission skills because the corresponding mission drops are part of what's needed for crafting. But I always start out with 3 gathering skills, and it's usually archaeology, scavenging, and bioanalysis. Slicing can be useful to get some early credits, but I usually start it with those 3, and then as I'm going along, pick up every single thing on the map, especially if you're going to be building a set of people, a set of crew skills collection across your legacy on a new server. You're going to want all of those starting level materials as well, because you're going to need all 3 of those kinds of materials to level up. You don't really need the mission skills to level up the crafting profession. You'll need it once you want to start building things. But I think you can level up all of the professions just off of gathering nowadays, because you can make the component parts. So each of the tiers of components are what's used to make some of like the conquest items and things like that. If you just make components and disassemble those components, you can get all the way up to max level on your crafting professions without needing the mission drops. Once you have companions, and if you pulled a bunch out of your mailbox, I would also recommend sending those. Oh, this is going to be hard. I would send those companions out relentlessly, except it costs money to send them out. So maybe you should pick up slicing, because you can send those companions out on slicing missions and make a profit. And at least for a little while, just, on every cooldown, as long as you have spare companions, be sending them out. You're only going to be able to send out one companion on a crew mission, though, at levels 1 through 15 or whatever as well. That's another thing.
Yeah.
At level 80, you can send out 8 at a time, but not at level 10.
Right.
So also look forward to doing that. At level 10, you can start... Oh, you know what you can do at level 7 as well, Zen? Or can you do it at level 1? You can do it at level 1. GSF. You get 5 ships. You get your 5 basic ships. You can't do the intro to GSF mission until you get to the fleet at level 7. But you could start flying GSF at level 1 and level up to 80, never having done any missions or quests or left the starting area on the first planet.
Yeah. I thought it was level 10 or something, yeah.
No,
Cue
that's
us up,
always...
Max. Cue us up. Let's see if it pops.
All right, I'll hit battle.
Yeah.
I don't even... You can't even unlock everything. 0 fleet, 0 ship requisition. Once you do the intro quest on the fleet, you will get enough fleet requisition to be able to unlock a bunch of stuff on your favorite ship, or even unlock an additional ship that you prefer to fly. Like, I prefer to fly the Pike as my strike fighter. I prefer to fly the Flashfire as my scout. I prefer to fly the War Carrier as my bomber. And the gunship, I like the one that they give you Quarrel. But all of them are viable. You can start at level 1 in GSF, and then at level 10, you can start PvP. So that's also fun. You think you're going to do much PvP in GSF on this new server, then?
Yeah, I'll have it queued up. We'll see how it pops.
That will be...
It's really one of those things.
I'm curious
You
to
need a
see
big
that.
population to get the queues going and so on.
Yeah, that's a good point. And you made that point at the start, is how healthy will the population be for things like PvP and GSF? Now, Zamzam, I mean, she probably got all the people that were in chat to queue up as well. Zamzam said she's been playing PvP for the last couple hours. So,
yeah, nice.
Low B PvP. So everybody who's in game right now, queue up for GSF. We'll fly a match. Well, I'll keep that queue going. Did I queue you guys up too? Did you get queued?
I think
Sema?
so. Yes.
I don't think so.
I think it might be.
As you're doing the GSF weekly, the PvP weekly, you'll get a bunch of rewards and credits for that kind of stuff
I
too.
am in the queue for Starfighter.
And then you tell me, Sema, would you be doing the old school space missions?
Oh, that's a good question. Maybe.
Yeah.
So like maybe take cybertech, slicing, and scavenging and do space missions.
Because with cybertech you can build the ship parts. Is that what you're thinking?
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
I don't
Some
know
of
if
them
I
anyway.
waste cybertech. You can also buy some of those starting parts.
Well, I wasn't. I meant, yeah. Yeah. You can, but they're not the same ones.
Right. And they're not the good ones when you get up to the harder missions. But even just doing like
and as
Fondor Escort without any ship parts, you can definitely still finish Fondor Escort.
Right. And the first time you do Fondor Escort, you get a shield as a quest reward.
And the first time you do Fondor Escort, you get an XP bonus, XP boost.
Oh,
So
good point. Yeah.
You do actually you need the class ship to do those missions.
Correct.
That's right.
You do need a class ship.
Didn't think about that, but yes, you do, because that's where you initiate them.
So class ship comes after usually it's towards the end of the second planet. So it would be towards the end of Dormicos or Coruscant. Yeah, forgot about that. All right. So fun and exciting. I think to sum it up, I think you had a good point, Zen. I wonder how many people are gonna have fun here just because of that sort of classic experience. I kind of think they even had that in mind with the way I've heard the dev team talk about it a little bit. That they do expect people to be over here and doing it for that reason. What do you think, Sema? You gonna level up a little bit for? I mean, we got a lot to do on the other regular servers though too. Do you think that you would
Yeah.
stick around here to get that classic experience, or you gonna stick with trying to finish up the stuff you
I
need
need
to do?
to
Like,
focus on Galactic Seasons.
right, we need to finish our Galactic seasons. So there will be Galactic.
I am tempted though, because you could do Galactic Seasons here. So
Right. You won't be able to finish the achievement though, the meta achievement, which is
no,
probably
no,
what
you
you're
wouldn't.
working on right now. Because you're probably
But I
done.
mean,
You're almost to rank 100, or are you done with
I am
100?
almost to rank 100. Yeah, but I still want to get to 100. Objectives.
Now, Zen, haven't you done Galactic Seasons on multiple servers in the past?
I had actually, yeah.
So
Good way to get some cartel coins if you've got a lot of spare time.
Yeah. So here's another server for people to do that on.
That's
If
right.
you're doing like just the easy objectives, not worrying about the achievements, but getting enough easy objectives just to get the season done on multiple servers, you do get the cartel coins as the reward from the reward tracks for each of those servers. So that all can add up. Sir Galahad in the chat room says that they do that.
I think we used to get more cartel coins in the past. I think it actually paid for a server transfer. So that made it worthwhile, kind of.
So here's a couple things. The chat room's got some great ideas. Master Lou says hardcore classic. What if now when they first started doing hardcore, and that's if your character dies, it dies, you delete it. When they first started doing hardcore in World of Warcraft, they ended up using an add-on eventually, but at first it was the honor system, and if you died, you deleted your character. You could do that. No reason you can't do that here. You just have to be out on the honor system and delete your character if that happens. The other thing that these guys are talking about, which I think is interesting, is I wonder what the world first races are going to be like, and if there will be the race for world first or server first on the new operations, first to kill, vet mode, clear vet mode R4, that kind of stuff. I wonder if how fast that's gonna happen, because people could drop Noble Decurion gear level 80 characters today. R4 vet mode R4 could be cleared already. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if it was. It may not be, but I bet there are teams that could go in there with Noble Decurion and clear vet mode R4. So if they had wanted to, it could be already done.
But if you wipe, you wouldn't have any credits to repair.
Oh, that's interesting. No repair. Wow. Don't wipe.
Oh, yeah. Good solution.
That's funny. So it's a new world. It's a new day.
Absolutely.
Anything else, Zen, before we move on to talk about anything else we've been doing or playing? And I think I'm going to be able to get to the fleet here pretty quick. Anything else that you want to mention?
Just hoping that the GSF pops before the end of the show.
That would be
cool.
cool.
So that Sema can have a little bit of a fly around.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure Sema's really rooting for that to happen too.
Well, but kind of related. I was just standing here looking at the Galactic Seasons objectives for this week, of which, of course, Starfighter is one. But quests and stuff in Hut Space is one, and I was standing here thinking, it wouldn't be that hard to get to like Nar Shaddaa this week and knock out some quests on Nar Shaddaa and get that objective. And then Oh, and then I could like level up crafting to 160 or 180 or whatever it is you need to be able to make an
Oh
invasion
yeah,
force
Invasion Force.
and do that one. That would, but
Oh,
that
but
would mean
think
I
of
would
the
have to do a lot of
mats.
gathering, but I could do that, and yeah,
Well,
it's a sickness.
to make an Invasion Force, you need one crafting
Oh
skill
yeah,
from the
you
yeah,
need a biochemist and an artificer and yeah,
yeah, Artificial Synth either, and then Cyber Tech
yeah,
Yeah,
or Armor Tech
or
or Arms Tech.
yep, yep, you're right.
Or
interesting.
maybe you could buy some.
Well,
Maybe you
actually,
could
that made me
craft.
think maybe I could, on my Cybertech scavenger character that I'm making up in my mind, I could sell some.
Yeah, you could make some and sell them on GTN and buy the other ones that you need to
Yeah.
make an Invasion Force.
I wonder
Yes.
that's one thing we sort of glossed over is the methods for making a bunch of credits on a new server. And one of the ways to do that is
Oh,
pop.
oh, pop.
Okay, let me get to a safe spot here. Ooh, blue
Will it mess you guys up if I leave, if I don't join? You can
No.
still join,
Yes,
right?
yes. No, you have to join Sema, otherwise
Yeah, it'll totally mess us up.
Yeah,
If
it'll
you,
delete our
you know,
characters and
it
But it
crashed
won't
the
make you.
server.
It won't make you leave the queue if I leave the queue, will it?
yeah.
Uh,
You have
oh,
to queue up.
who knows? It
Sema,
could.
click,
No, it's fine.
Okay, here we go for science. I'll
For
leave the queue.
science. Let's
Now,
see. I'm gonna
Max,
do.
you're a experienced geosepper, so you'll be able to see how the latency affects
Oh,
you.
right. This is one of the things I wanted to test. So as we mentioned earlier, things, especially player versus player, where reaction time matters and both two players have to interact with the server on each of their ends. So that's one of the reasons that would be even more so in PvP is there's two ping times that are involved. I didn't even think of that first time I was thinking it through. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Here we go.
Yeah, I'm a fan of. Oh, see, I don't play on this keyboard. This is gonna be.
You're a fan of, but you don't play. What?
I'm trying to talk while I'm trying to fly my spaceship here. I don't usually play on this keyboard, so my muscle memory of even how to use this keyboard to fly a ship is not good. So I don't know how well this is going to work, but we will see. I'm a fan
Sema,
of.
did you get in?
Did you get in, Sema?
Sema, did you get into the match?
I did not because I left the queue.
Oops. It was an accident, right?
No, it was for science.
Oh, to leave the queue. Oh, I thought it was for
Yeah.
science that you were going to come in.
Yeah.
Nope. Because you were not listening.
No. So in PvP, early PvP, I definitely like to fly a gunship because I can do quite well even with nothing unlocked on a gunship and at least contribute to what's going on. Oh, someone's coming after me. They think they're going to be sassy.
You're kind of losing, Max. Go and pick up your game.
I'm not losing anything. You're losing. They're coming after me. Hey, I'm flying right to these people. I have missile lock on me. Are you guys gonna be my wingman here? Nope, they're just flying right by me. They're gonna let me get killed. Good job. Oh no, somebody saved me. I am not noticing things being too difficult here, but it's kind of hard to get a sense while I'm podcasting. Oh, somebody's after me again. Leave me alone, bro.
Oh, here's a
blew up.
thing. Go ahead and do bonus quests if you have if one pops up.
Oh,
Instead of avoiding them, go ahead and do them because XP and credits.
yes. Get those bonuses in. That's a really good idea. I didn't think of that right off. Well, this other team looks like they're gonna be wiping us up. So while we continue to do this, let's also transition and talk about.
It looks like meat's back on our menu, boys. No way, God. Finally. I kind of like magical bread.
So what else have you been playing, Sema?
So, quite a bit of Star Wars: The Old Republic this week. I'm only doing 6. I think I'm only doing 6 objectives this week, though, because that's just how it's worked out. But I am so close to being done, and I'm in good shape for getting 100 objectives. I'm not worried at all.
Yeah.
Um,
So how
in
close are you to rank 100?
I'm like 99. I mean, really
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
And I have my Loth kitten or Loth kitten,
Yes.
which was a main goal, so I have that.
Yeah. Cool. Definitely
In
wanna
WoW
have that.
Classic, our raid leader decided to do this thing.
Oh yeah. Tell me about that.
Right. Did I mention it last week? But where he
I don't think you
divided
mentioned it on
us
the podcast.
into
So
he divided us into 2 groups. So and we have to everyone has to create a new character on level to level 17, and then we're going to do the first 3 dungeons. Everyone has to take a random roll. He told us what the roles would be. Like, I'm going to be a DPS, and someone who usually DPS is going to be our healer. But then we're going to do the first 3 dungeons or flashpoints, whatever you want to call them, in the game, and we got to wear just like regular gray gear and nothing special, nothing that you can buy with credits or anything like that, and then it's going to be a little bit of a race, and at the end we'll get some kind of dumb prize, like a handful of roses or something.
interesting.
And that has turned out to be pretty fun because just everyone leveling a lobby we're not everyone's playing at the same time, but everyone's running into the same things, and I don't know, it's just kind of a little more fun than I thought it would be, because you have this little goal and you only need to get to level 17. So like right now my lobby that I started is 16 and like 2/3 of the way into level 17, and I kind of don't want to play her now because it'll be over at 17, and then we're going to turn our XP off at 17 so that we don't by accident
Sure.
level out of the contest. But also this week in WoW Retail, it is WoW's 19th anniversary.
Oh, okay.
And so, oh my
You
gosh.
get something for logging in?
I can't believe that person just did that. I was killing these mobs to open up that chest, and they came
took
in
the
and
chest?
took the chest.
Oh
Yeah.
no. And that's like a big deal now.
Yeah.
That's
I
like
find that happens more in this game than in WoW for me. But anyway, so I actually had to log into WoW. Well, I didn't have to log into WoW Retail, but I did, because you get a pet in your mail because it's part of how they celebrate their anniversary, as many games do. And then there was a world boss to kill, and that the world boss. So I went down to Caverns of Time, which is a little bit of a flight. And there was a group there already, getting ready to kill him. So just killed that world boss. And it was kind of funny because I was there on my druid and I was like thinking, okay, what spec am I in? And then someone pulled the boss. I'm like, okay, I'll just push some buttons. I think I was in my healing spec, but I'm not completely sure because I didn't have time to actually click on the thing and look at it before. But I did heal some people because as a druid, you have heals in all your specs, really. But I knew I wasn't. I was either a casting spec or healing spec, which they're similar. Anyway, so that was interesting because, of course, I could fly around in that world, which is what we're looking forward to now in Classic. When we get Cataclysm next year, we'll be able to fly around in the world then.
yeah.
But it was it's been a while since I've logged into retail, and retail is really beautiful. It is. I mean, I think classic is
It's
beautiful also in its own way, but it's just interesting to see the sort of how it's just a little bit more amped up and a little bit smoother and a little bit brighter in retail because, it's more modern.
I agree. I think the people that well, I mean, gameplay is gameplay, but I think that retail is a great game. And
Yeah.
I know
And
there's a lot of
I made
hype around the other game modes, but I think it really is hype, and I wonder if statistically most people, I mean, like much greater number of people are still playing retail as opposed to like hardcore and classic and Wrath and all of those games.
I wouldn't be surprised if hardcore and all the versions of all the versions of classic, if they are not, if Blizzard doesn't view them as a way of an activity for their retail players to do.
Right. And if all of them
Um,
all put together are just a fraction of what actually goes on still in retail.
In fact, Hazakazis, who's the game director for WoW, said in an interview recently that they've learned a lot seeing how people play classic. I mean, he didn't elaborate. I'm kind of curious, but one of the things he was saying was that they really are backing off from some of their most cherished things that they never wanted to change because they felt they were right, and trying to be more open to changing things because players want it.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to go necessarily, but I mean, one note I made to myself, and I'm experiencing it today as we do this little exercise, is like, what is the deal with me and like falling in love with a particular character? Because when I was leveling up this little hunter in WoW, I was thinking, oh, well, I mean, I could just do this and do that, and maybe I'll get this profession after we finish this contest and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what is going on with that? Because I have a hunter already. That's my other hunter is not at max level, but she's like 60 levels above this hunter. Why would I even think about leveling this hunter? And just today, just this little bit of gameplay here today, it's made me want to like finish all those things I just talked about on this character. I'm like, I want to get like a profession and start making some money and
I
do
agree.
Galactic Seasons and Conquest. And when I was logged in for a minute in retail, I was thinking, oh, I really should look at my UI and see how I can fix this now that I've been away for like so long, and what's going on with this trading post and blah 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 blah. It's like, yow.
Right. There is, I think we've brainstormed a little bit here and there, but the creating a new character in any kind of RPG, really any kind of RPG, and MMOs are a kind of RPG, but especially the early experience, it's both designed and because of the way leveling tends to work and the, exponential leveling curves, the dopamine hits kind of come fast
I'm
and furious.
very vulnerable. Well,
No, but not in a bad way, because it's also very satisfying to get those, get the profession and get a bunch
I totally
of
get
levels
that
and
because
get some skills.
yes, when you're first starting out, they do come more often. Plus, life is simpler. You don't have as much going on. You don't have as many goals. You have the big goal, which is leveling, and you have like some sub goals of like maybe rep and getting credits. Whereas when you're at max level, then you're thinking about a ton of other things too, and it becomes the max level. What you have to be concerned about is not playing the game like it's your job.
Yes.
But when you're leveling, it seems like it's just more like, having a party.
Yeah, I agree.
But I do think there's an attachment beyond just what you're talking about with the dopamine hits. There's an attachment to the pixels of some sort.
Yeah, I think you're right. it's the role. I mean, that's the role play part of it,
Yes, and yes,
which
right.
is fun,
That's the
and that's
R
why we
in the RPG. Yeah.
that's why we play the R's.
Yes, it is.
Indeed.
Two things in intermission before we hear from Zen and what else Zen has been doing. But we finished the GSF match. I told you guys level 1 completely unlocked. I didn't change anything on that quell, and I was able to get second damage on the board, 26,000 damage. We lost, but second most damage out of anybody. So you can do a lot with the starting with the gunship. So don't sleep on the gunship. Second thing is I'm on the fleet.
Did you make any money from the GSF?
Did we, Zen? I think we did, didn't we? Maybe not. 941 credits. 914 credits. 53 conquest points. 914 credits. You got loot?
I've got loot that I can't
a
pay.
premium crate.
Yeah.
What came in that crate? I got a premium Starfighter crate as well.
I got a level 70 relic.
I got a level 24
medium armor
lightsaber. I got a level 24 lightsaber and then a fleet requisition grant.
Funny.
That's interesting.
I was questing while we were talking, and I had to come back to the Jedi Temple, and I looked at quick travel, and it was going to be 55 credits, and I said,
credits?
No.
I paid it.
No.
I paid it. I figured YOLO, gonna 6 minute cooldown of 55 credits. I'm feeling rich already. But I am on the fleet.
I can sell this relic for 3,000 credits.
Wow, you are rich. Well, somebody I told you. I mean, this was we're now 4 hours in, but in the pre-show I was crying because I didn't have the 350 credits to unlock my outfit here, and somebody who was in the chat room listening walked up to me and was going to trade me 60,000 credits, and I felt really bad. I was like, no, do not give me all that money. So it's nice of them. So I just said, just give me 300. But yeah. All right, Zen.
Hard getting used to being in the what is it?
No commas club.
Credits? One comma.
I'm in the 1 comma club. How about you, Sema? You in the comma?
No, I
club?
don't have a comma yet. I do not have a comma.
I am in the unos commas club. Woohoo! Crafting trainer. See, here's what I said. Get this the thing on the fleet. Pick up every mission you see on the fleet when you do get to the fleet to start, because those will be things that you'll do over time in the background. They're not story. They're not going to distract you, but you'll want to pick them up. I wanted to see if I could also get a stronghold. And while I'm doing that, Zen, what are you up to? We don't get to play with you so much these days. What have you been up to?
I do a little bit of Galactic seasons. Usually I'm on when you're fast asleep.
Yes.
It's been going well. I'm enjoying that. It's a bit of a time crunch, so that's why I'm actually doing it.
Yeah. Because
if they let me have an extra year to do it, then I would just be rushing this time next year. So
right. I'm the same way. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not doing super well so far, but I can still get the achievements. So I've been tracking that. Should be okay, but I'm not way ahead like you guys.
Yeah. Okay. But that makes sense.
Yeah. PvP seasons have started, and I'm onto that because I do enjoy PvP. I remember you saying last week, Sema, that you were doing something because you didn't realize that you didn't enjoy it.
Yes.
You kept doing it. But PvP, I really enjoy war zones. And I did some arenas last week because it was a season's objective. But I prefer the war zones. And sometimes when my weekly is finished, I'm sad
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's really a skill and an art is I mean, that's really kind of the secret to life, isn't it? Figuring out the thing how you want to spend your time and then spending your time that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been good.
How far do you
The
get
other
in the
game,
PvP seasons? Do you
well, last season I almost got the whole way through.
Okay.
And I needed finish one more match. And I was,
Oh,
you
that's
know,
right.
I was doing it last minute. I was actually in the match when the end of season hit.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh,
So
man.
if my stupid teammates had have just capped nodes faster, I would have got to level 25.
I blame them.
It's always the other player's fault, right? Everything I do is perfect. But yeah, this season I'm gonna just play a little bit more consistently, and I should be able to reach 25. You need about 2.1 levels per week, and in the first week I did I think I did 3 in a bit. So
Okay.
I'm on track.
For anyone that needs some casual, fun people to run with that are completing all the seasons, our guild, not on Zen time, but Wednesday nights, Stask and Machete are still running some PvP with those guys on 8 p.m. Central on Starforge. It's a really fun way to get it done. I don't think I'll be doing the PvP season this season. I'm not as interested in the armor set, which is the reason I do it. But I'll still probably be PvPing with those guys, so I probably will get a couple levels just on accident.
Yeah, I don't do it for the armor or anything. And I actually realized that I'd actually maxed out on the tokens, so I had to try and find something to buy with the tokens.
That's right. I haven't retrieved any of the rewards from the entire Galactic season yet. Oh, PvP tokens?
PvP, yeah.
Oh, well, that's great. You can get like it cycles through, doesn't it? But you could get
Yeah, that's right.
the weapons that are on fire, the furious weapons. That's
I'm
my
actually
dream.
going to go for the Flaming Hollow Rancor.
Yeah, the furious Rancor.
20. Don't you have 20 by now? You should have 20.
I don't think I have 20.
Tokens.
I don't think I do. I didn't do the previous seasons all the way through. I did.
Okay. Yeah.
The last season was, I think I did the two previous seasons I did to 16 or 17. So whatever that, I think I did both of them to 17
Right.
because you get another token at 17. You finish the armor set at 16 and you get a token at 17.
Right.
Any other games?
Anyway,
Any other
so I've
stuff?
also been playing the mobile game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, how's that going?
Been going well. I've actually looked at it, and I've been playing it for about a year and 3 months or something like that, or a year and 4 months.
Okay.
And I got my first Galactic Legend, which is like one of the top tier characters. And I've been sort of building towards that over a year. So it's a nice little dopamine hit when I unlocked Galactic Legend Ray. And it's a nice game that you can play away from my desk, which is really what I like, because I work at my desk and I play SWTOR at my desk. So sometimes I just want to get away from the desk.
Yeah.
Right. And it's a very successful game financially. Almost $1 billion in revenue over the 8 years or 7 years. Yeah.
I played it quite a bit at launch, and did enjoy it. It did have quite a bit of fun with it. I'm just out of the situation where I need a mobile game to distract me because I'm like waiting for a meeting to start or something in the office. I'm not.
But don't you want to get away from your desk sometimes and sit on the couch and relax?
Yeah, I do. But I've got the Steam Deck now too.
Yeah.
So.
Do you play SWTOR on the Steam Deck?
Not really. You can run it on the Steam Deck, but you still kind of need a mouse and keyboard. Trying to play, it's possible, but trying to play with the thumbstick controls. You can map into there, but you can't. It's really hard to use all your abilities and that kind of thing. So I've run it, but there's a lot of other things I'll just run on the Steam Deck instead that are sort of better designed for it.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to have an option to do some mobile gaming when you're away from your desk anyway.
Fun. Yeah, I should go back to it and take a look at it again because I did play it quite a bit, especially when it was early and they were still even adding features to the game that, you know, a lot of that stuff didn't even exist as things you could do. So I wonder what characters I have. You build up little characters and it's you put your little squad together and fight the little battle is sort of one of the key mechanics. And then to get additional characters that you could swap into your squad to fight the next battle, that's kind of an opportunity for monetization, but you can also sort of earn a bunch of that over time. So that's why they're making $1 billion is because you can unlock that stuff for money. I don't think I ever paid any money though, and was just able to play quite a bit and have a lot of fun with it. So it's certainly viable. And I know, as you said, it's doing quite well as a game platform. In fact, I believe there's a podcast all about Galaxy of Heroes called the Escape Podcast. And it's not ours. They even reached out to me when they started their podcast. They just liked the name Escape Pod, and they said, "Oh, hey, we're gonna do it too, but we're gonna be on this other game." I was like, "Oh, whatever. Do what you do you. That sounds fun." But I believe so. I don't know if they're still doing it, but it was cool.
Yeah, that's all from me. What about you, Max?
Well, I just got to the fleet, as I said. I got to on the server. I got my stronghold unlocked. There's nothing in it. I've got no decorations. I can put Shea Vizsla in there. That's the only thing I can put in my Tatooine stronghold. Nar Shaddaa stronghold. If you unlock the strongholds with cartel coins, you can just unlock them for 0 coins or 0 credits, and you could just get them and unlock them when you get to the fleet. If you unlock them for credits, you do have to repay that credit cost. So I unlocked them all with credits for that reason, for some reason. I don't know. But there's relatively low.
Did you see Sir Galahad's comment? You should put down some chairs in here.
I don't even have any chairs. I think, what's the level? So I think when you get to like level 15 or something, you'll get the intro to Strongholds missions. And when you complete the intro to Strongholds missions, then you can get 1,000 chairs and fill your stronghold with chairs. And I will at that point, of course, because that's where you store your chairs. That makes sense. That makes the most sense. Let's see, what else have I been doing? I've been still been playing. One thing I've been trying on mobile. I probably won't play a ton of it, but I did try Warcraft Rumble. We talked about that a little bit last week. I went through and I played all the way through Hogger and then a couple of the battles beyond that. It is a fine little mobile game, and it's not, again, I don't need that kind of mobile game. If I wanted a mobile game to have, an actual phone game to have on hand, it's a fine one. It's a fine little game. I think it will do fine as a mobile game as well. It's cute. There's a little bit of strategy in battle. There's strategy for how you arrange the team you bring to the table, because you'll only bring 4 of your little mini characters into the battle, and then they pop up, or 4 or 5, I think only 4. They pop up, and you're able to sort of drag them onto the map in the zones that you have control over, and then they march up and sort of like auto battle. But you do have to be doing the work to decide who you're dragging where, and then some interaction with the map. So yeah, it was fun. It was fine. Had a good time with that as far as that goes. I've also been playing quite a bit still, and we talked about this last week, quite a bit still of Ark. Ark Survival Ascended. So that's the new version of Ark that is not yet on the consoles. Talked about that. I had a couple really fun adventures. So I had an adventure where I went and had to get some bees, right? So one of the things that you might want to do late in the game is, as you build up your materials that you're using, and there's long chains of these different materials and things that you can craft. One of the things that you might build up is you might want a beehive to get honey, because honey is one of those sort of later game crafting materials. So you have to go find a beehive in the Redwood Forest, which is a dangerous place. So I needed to go chase down these bees, and then you need to break the beehive. But as soon as you break the beehive, all the bees start coming out, and they sting the hell out of you. And they'll knock you off your flying mount, and you'll crash to the ground, and they'll sting you to death. And Ark is a brutal place. So I tried, I think it was last Saturday. I tried 3 times. I got everything together. I got C4 charges. I got explosives. Because if you bring an axe or something and whack on the beehive, it's got 5,000 points, and you're doing 100 points of damage per hit. If you do that, you'll get stung to death. It's super hard to blow up the beehive that way. So I crafted explosives, which are really expensive to craft, and I crafted multiple sets of these explosives, and I tried 3 times, and it wasn't until the next day where I was all out of explosives and did some tricky flying with I've got a giant bird that I fly around on now, to break the beehive, because I broke the beehive a couple times and lost the queen. So when you break the beehive, the queen comes down, and she just goes wandering off. And you have to feed her stuff while the bees are all around her and trying to sting you. So that's why, Sema, I had that crazy suit that's all covered in grass.
Yes,
the ghillie suit.
Ghillie suit. Yeah.
If you're completely covered in the ghillie suit,
because you're hiding from the bees.
You're hiding from the bees. So I put the full ghillie suit on, and I'm hiding from the bees, and I'm trying to feed this queen. And a couple times the queen died. A couple times I got lost. She's down in the swamps where there's big giant crocodiles that'll eat your face. So yeah,
What do you mean a couple times she died?
She's very fragile. So if one time I was trying to kill I was asking my bird to kill the drones that were stinging me to death, and it's a little bit of an AoE hit, and the bird was too close to the queen bee, so I think splash damage killed the queen bee. And I'm like, well, there goes another queen bee dead. So now I got to go either get more explosives or whatever, but finally got a queen bee. And then once you get the queen bee, you can bring her back to your base and basically turn her into a beehive. Every time you go to the beehive, though, to get more honey out of it, it's not actual bees that come out that time, the next time, but it stings the hell out of you. It takes away a third of your health to get all stung by the bees. So more adventures like that, even more harrowing adventures. What was the other? Oh, I got attacked by, just real quick. There's one of the king creatures, one of the end game creatures is Rhino Nagathia. It's like a giant flying praying mantis looking creature. If you tame it, you can carry around T-Rexes with it. There's this giant insect, and they're terrifying. So I'm flying around, I'm doing a thing. This is after I'm done with the bees, and I parked my boat somewhere, and the thing is just around my boat. It's around my boat. It's I can't get back to my boat because it'll attack me. So I get on my bird. I'm like, well, this is what you got to do. I'm gonna go after this giant bug, and I'm gonna fight it. So I'm fighting it on my flying bird, and we're getting higher. We're circling higher and higher in the air. My bird is losing stamina, and you have to land before it loses stamina. So I'm like, fine. I'm going to try to dive down. And I did a bunch of damage to the bird. I'm trying to dive down, and the bug has this sap glob attack where it shoots this missile glob of sap at you. And if you get too much of it on you, it freezes you, and it froze my bird, and my bird crashed to the ground and died. So my bird, and this is one of my best birds, crashes to the ground and dies. I pop off, and I'm now running around on the ground, freaking out. I hadn't brought a weapon with me because my bird was my weapon. and the bug comes down, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die anyway. I turn and I start punching the bird in the face. I'm doing like 7 points of damage per punch. I killed the bird punching it in the face. So I must have gotten it down far enough with my bug. My bug must have gotten it far enough down before it died so that I could punch the bug in the face and I killed the bug. I'm like, well, great. It's really good to kill these bugs because you need to kill some of the bugs to get the pheromones so that you can tame other ones in the future. However, now there's a boa constrictor biting me and poisoning me, and I can't punch that to death because it's a giant prehistoric boa constrictor. So I'm down on the ground. I run back to my base, run back to my boat while I'm poisoned by this snake. I get into my boat, close the door, and pass out. Pass out from the poison. Pass out cold. I lived. I still want to go back and loot. I didn't get to loot the big bug. So I grab an extra weapon out of my boat, and off the boat, there's this boa constrictor, right? So I kill the boa constrictor. For whatever reason, I had to fight through 7 more boa constrictors and a crocodile, and by that point, 5 minutes was up, and all the stuff to despawn. So I went home in my boat, bird dead, no loot off the bug, but I did kill the bug by punching it in the face, and I got a level out of it, which at my level that was actually pretty high, and a lot of experience. So it was good for that. But that's the kind of story. That's the kind of story I have. I punched a giant prehistoric bug in the face until it died, and then passed out from poison in my boat. So after I got done with that, I typed up that story in Discord, and somebody was saying you should be streaming this. And I said, I could, but Ark is like 90% picking up rocks off the ground and 10% bright spots of excitement like that. So
yeah.
That would be the stream. You would get to see me like what I'm showing right now for the people that are seeing the video. It's like me running around here. I'm gonna pick up some stuff. I'm picking up fiber off the ground. Would be 90% of the stream. Do you really want that? I mean, the fight with me punching a bug to death, that's cool. Maybe I should just record it and then edit together the exciting parts. All right. Well, this has been awesome. Oh damn, it wasn't 90 minutes. We were trying to go a little bit faster for you, Zen, but
that's all right.
Thank you so much for coming on. It was really fun catching up with you at all.
Yeah.
We got to get in there. We got to play. We got to play around GSF at least. So we got that going for us.
Yeah. That was fun.
Fun times on the new server. I'm really happy that you've got a server in your backyard now too. And it's not bad. If we get transfers, I could see transferring a character. I don't know if I can stomach leveling up while I still have to do like conquest and stuff over on the regular server. But it's cool that it's there. And I think it will be a fun thing for a lot of players, even in the US, to have a fresh place to play.
Yeah.
I think so.
So thanks a ton. Come to the US, or I'll have to try to come there. We gotta do another meetup too. Let's do a cantina.
Sure.
That was I think that was the last place we hung out was New York Cantina. I think that is it for us today in the podcast. All the feed and subscribe links are on newoverlords.com, and our video is on YouTube/newoverlords. Please come chat with us in our Discord, and that's where we're doing the giveaways over the weekend. I'm going to broadcast that out a couple other times, but use those rewards, those cartel coins and stuff that you'll be getting, the jetpack mount on the new server. But you can get to our Discord at newoverlords.com/Discord, react in that channel, and I'll be doing probably multiple giveaways. I think there's only like 10 or 15 people that have reacted so far. So if that's it, then everyone may be getting a code.
Yeah.
You might not have to do a drawing at all. You can also follow us on the socials at Twitter, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Threads, Instagram, and Facebook. It's usually Max the Gray or New Overlords on those, mostly Max the Gray. And we'll keep you up to date there soon on when the podcast goes live and when it gets published to the feeds. And with that, we will talk to you soon.
Later, everyone.
Bye, everybody.